My name is Caroline Scott. I'm a video producer, a journalist, a social media specialist, and I've worked with content producers all over the world to help them to shoot better stories through video. And I know this is something that we all want to do more of. We're all probably coming from very different backgrounds in terms of the types of videos that we want to create. But we know we all need to use social media and online video to really capture audiences, especially in 2022, when there's so many different platforms to be posting on, there's so many different formats, there's so many different ways we can create that engaging content. So that's what this session is going to be about tonight, or today. It's tonight here in London, but it's, as I say, it's wonderful to see you guys in so many different time zones and countries. So I'm just going to share my screen. And if any point today you can't see this, please do give us a wave or just put something in the comments below. So hopefully you guys can all see my slides now. So this session is about video for content creators. And as I say, that includes all of us, doesn't it? It includes all of us that want to build a brand, to connect with audiences in a variety of different ways. But specifically, this session is going to be about enhancing the power of our smartphone. Okay, so this is the television production studio in your pocket that you already own. This is what I believe the best piece of technology that you will already have, and you've already got it in your pocket that you can produce amazing content with as you go about your day-to-day life. Now, just a little bit of an introduction so you know who's going to be speaking to you over the next 15-20 minutes. As I say, I've worked in journalism for most of my career, training journalists to be better storytellers through video. And I specialize predominantly in smartphone storytelling because this is an area within the industry that is very, very up and coming, especially since COVID. We've seen more and more storytellers really embrace the smartphone as a method of content production. So what we've tried to do is put together a course that's really going to enhance your learning through being a complete beginner to actually developing some wonderful content using your smartphone, professional content that is suitable for broadcast, social media, or online audiences. So we're going to go through some tips and tricks today, and hopefully if you guys do have any questions, we'll put them in the Q&A at the end and go through some of your personalized stories. But let's first of all talk about why we create video at all. You know, video in itself is super, super important. I think most of us watch it every single day, whether that's on television, online, TikTok, Instagram, Reels, Snapchat. We're all using video all the time. So if we're all absorbing video, engaging with video, that obviously means that we need to be creating that. So who is this course for today? This is for really all of you, for video producers, marketers, journalists, editors, business owners. If you're on social media, this course is going to be a necessity to you guys to actually pushing you through to produce more content faster for wide audiences. And those of you working as educators in communications and PR, all of you guys who want to be media professionals, that should be all of us who want to engage with our audiences through video. And the reason why I think that the smartphone is really a superior form of producing video is that it's light. It's with you all the time. You guys already know how to use your mobile phone. So all you need to know is how to shoot and edit to a more professional standard to create that content that's going to be really useful for your work, whether you're building your brand, you're trying to sell a project, a product, or of course you're educating people with how-to videos. So as I say, this really is a production studio in your pocket. So you could be, if you'd like, producing TV programs, news bulletins, films, documentaries. These little things can shoot in up to 4K. Whether you have an iPhone or an Android device, you can be shooting in HD quality using these. So no need to buy these big, bulky camera equipments that we've been used to over the years. And of course, making those videos for social media. I think social media is probably the most related platform of where we're going to be posting our videos when we're shooting on our smartphones. Of course, we can also be producing podcasts, radio bulletins, taking photos, making memes and GIFs. So this little device really is a gateway to you guys connecting with more and more people. And I say that with such passion because I've literally worked with hundreds of content creators all over the world from different backgrounds who did not realize how powerful this little device is. And once we kind of explored it, they were thinking, gosh, I can't believe I've been spending, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of pounds or their local currency in actually trying to get videos produced within their business. So this is something that all of you guys can do. And it just takes a little bit of time to learn some of the skills, but also a ton of creativity and enthusiasm to actually put some of these skills into practice that we're going to be speaking about today. Now, a lot of the content that you'll be watching on television will be shot on a smartphone. In actual fact, about 70–80% of that will be shot on a smartphone, and you wouldn't have even known about it, because smartphones are just that good nowadays. So if we can do it for television, you guys can use it for whatever social media platform you want to be focusing on and posting on and building your brand. So from this point onwards, guys, we're going to be thinking of ourselves as storytellers. We're all there to tell a story, and that is through video. So just to help introduce why the power of the smartphone is so important in 2022, here's a little video.
Mobile technology has advanced at an astonishing rate over the past 10 years, so much so that smartphones have changed the world we live in. No longer is a phone used just to make calls or send text messages, it's now a tiny computer that hasn't just dramatically altered how we communicate with one another, it's having a massive effect on society, and the technology is shifting the methods of production across a number of industries. One of these is the video production industry, where smartphones are being increasingly incorporated into TV studios, newsrooms and film sets, not to mention their popularity with viral video makers on social media platforms. And why? Now we can do it all ourselves. No longer do you have to hire a large camera crew to shoot and edit material, previously costing hundreds, if not thousands of pounds. Equipment is also cheaper to buy and of course lighter to carry around with us than these bigger cameras. Most smartphones give you the option to shoot in high definition now, with many enabling you to record video that's good enough quality for TV and even cinema audiences. Our workflow is also faster, as we can literally shoot and edit amazing video content on our smartphone wherever we happen to be. There's no need to be sitting at a computer to edit video anymore on expensive and complicated software. With our phones, we can produce a range of varied content for a variety of platforms, whether that's online, TV, or on social media, and that means we reach wider audiences. And finally, we have freedom to shoot at the drop of a hat, edit wherever we happen to be in the world, and publish to our favourite social media or online channels, all from our smartphone. Of course, there are some challenges to creating video with a phone. I mean, there must be a reason we still have huge camera crews and bigger cameras, right? Well, for example, your camera's quality is limited when you're shooting in low light, like at a concert or outside at night. And if you've ever tried to zoom in with your phone, you'll know that the picture quality can decrease quite rapidly. We've also got to think about issues like battery life and storage, but these will be second nature to you once you get practice with smartphone video production, and you'll soon learn how these challenges can be overcome. This course is all about learning and doing. It's filled with both practical and theory tasks that I'd like you to complete as you move through the modules. Try not to be tempted to skip ahead, as the learnings have been carefully crafted to help you gain all the right skills in the right order.
Okay, guys, so we've seen there, phones are lighter, they're cheaper, our workflow is so much faster. So this tool itself is something that we can use straight away. And as I said earlier, COVID really propelled the use of smartphones because we couldn't get within 2 meters of each other. So we had to go to a piece of technology where we could shoot and edit without having these large camera crews. So we're going to run through some tips and tricks for shooting and editing, and I'm going to be talking you through some of the apps that I would recommend that you guys start using. And then of course, you've got to think about some of those skills in terms of storytelling. So when it comes to shooting with a mobile phone, in terms of actually holding our mobile phone, shooting wide shots, close-ups, some of the things that we need to think about come down to the focus and the exposure. Now on screen, you can see all of the benefits of that, but I mentioned there in that video, there are some limitations when it comes to the smartphone itself, things like the zoom. So now we say we zoom with our feet, we get close to our subject if we want to get a close-up, if it's safe to do so. There are attachments and pieces of equipment that I'm going to run through with you over the next 15 minutes. However, when we are shooting with a phone, now our phone becomes an extension of us. So I'm going to play you this quick video. Hopefully you guys will be able to see your end of some of the techniques you can use within your actual mobile device. Now, when I say native camera, I mean the camera that comes on your phone, okay? So that's when you're on your iPhone and you open up the camera, or on your Android device and you open up the camera to take a picture or a video. There are third-party apps that you can download, and I'm going to show you what the best one is in a minute. But first of all, here's this quick little instructional video about how you can use your phone's native camera to set the focus and lock the exposure. That's the amount of light coming into your camera to really give your videos a more professional edge. So please do take some notes or grab your phones out just to go through these with me as I talk you through.
Open up your phone camera and set the mode to video. This demo is on an iPhone, so if you are an Android user, the principles still apply to you, but depending on the make and model of your device, the actions here may differ. So don't panic if your camera doesn't look or behave exactly like this. Step number 1 is to set a focal point for your video. If you have a mug or object in front of you, you can focus on that to practice this technique. In this scenario here, I would like to focus on the foreground, on this flower. Therefore, I'm going to tap it once with my finger, ensuring to hold the smartphone really still as I do so. Tapping on the screen tells my camera what's important in the shot and what I want the camera to focus on. You can see that if I tap the background of the shot now, it'll take the foreground out of focus and focus on the objects further away. And now vice versa. So as you can see, tapping on the screen will set the focus. This is demonstrated by a small yellow square appearing where I tap the screen, with a sunlight symbol next to it. The next step is to lock this focus, which will ensure the camera doesn't track any other object or autofocus if a new subject or object entered the scene. To do this, simply place and hold your finger on the object in focus for approximately 1 to 2 seconds until a larger yellow square pops up on screen around your finger and the words AE AF lock appear. This stands for auto exposure and autofocus, which we have now locked into place. Now, no matter what happens in your shot, the focus will remain the same. At this point, your exposure will automatically be locked as well, but you can still adjust the brightness of your shot with your index finger, swiping up and down the screen. Up for lighter, down for darker. You'll see the small symbol will move here as the brightness of your shot changes, all while the focus remains safely locked.
So you can see there are those really quick techniques that you can use to get a much more professional shot with your phone's native camera. So setting the focus point yourself, not letting the actual native camera set the focus for you. So if you've got an interviewee in front of you, it's not going to go in and out of focus as cars go around in the background, or the sun doesn't, the exposure doesn't change as the clouds move above your shot. This technique with a native camera phone is one that many journalists, many filmmakers use because they're not using a third-party app. However, if you guys are here today thinking, I want more control over my camera, the best app on the market by far in terms of a camera app is called Filmic Pro. Now, Filmic Pro, I think it's they just added a subscription model to it. So they have changed the pricing structure slightly. I think it might be about $10 US. However, Filmic Pro itself turns your phone into as close as to a DSLR camera. So if you guys have got a Panasonic or a Canon camera, you can actually use this app to control the focus pull, the exposure pull, the ISO, the shutter speed, and so on and so forth. You can even see audio coming into the camera. So this is for the more advanced video producers among you guys, and your phone's native camera for those of you that are just getting started. But either of them, you can still be producing really, really high quality video that could be good enough to go out on television. You can see here some of the elements within Filmic Pro that you just don't get in the native camera. So really, please do keep in your mind that there are apps available like Filmic Pro that will help you get that real professional edge if you're looking for something a bit more cinematic. They also have released an additional app that will now enable you to shoot 2 shots at the same time, the back shot and the front shot of your camera, or you can take 2 shots with the back of your camera. So you can see here, you guys as the videographer at first light, which is the name of this app, you can choose an ultra wide shot and a wide and film those two things at the same time, or you can choose something like a selfie mode and a wide shot and be narrating what you see. So regardless of whether you are working in journalism, in education, you're making how-to videos, there are apps on the market available to you that really will turn your phone into, as close as it can be, a DSLR camera. Now, as I mentioned, there are some things about using a smartphone that are a little bit of a limitation. Just like using big cameras, they have their limitations too, because they're heavy, expensive, and you can't get them into small spaces. And obviously the workflow is longer. But if you are looking to improve your videos even further with a smartphone, you want to be thinking firstly about microphones. So thinking about using lapel microphones. If you've got interviews, those icons, images on the right hand side, they're called lapel microphones or lavalier microphones. They plug directly into the bottom of your smartphone, either into the lightning jack or the headphone jack. But you can also get wireless microphones. You can see there in the middle, there's just an example there from Samsung. That's the Go Mic Mobile wireless mic. Or if you guys have traditional mics that need an XLR input, you can do so via the iRig Pro. So there's so many different options for microphones out there, but what I would recommend is getting yourself a lavalier mic on Amazon. You can get them for about $10 to $20 at the cheaper end, and they go up to about $100, $150 if you want to be spending more. But microphones are so important to use. Of course, if you're out and about, you can try to, use a sock or a windshield just to kind of get some of that external wind noise off. But if you are using your microphone, they will try to take in sound from all over. So if you are interviewing someone or doing a piece to camera, definitely recommend investing in a little microphone, which you can get online just after this course. And it will make a huge difference to your iPhone videos or your Android videos. The next external piece of equipment you can get is a tripod or a handheld stabilizer. So a tripod is, obviously a three-legged option on the left-hand side that you can create these beautiful static videos from, or you can be handheld filming using things like like a handheld grip, as you can see here, or you can use ones that are a little bit more advanced that actually move with you. So as you're running and filming, they're actually moving along with you to create that kind of smooth movement. So you really do have a wide variety of smartphone devices now that you can use to basically give you that little bit more stability. So it's up to you of that, how much you want to spend, or if you want to at all. But of course, if you don't have a tripod or if you don't have a stabilizer, you don't have to have one. You could be filming like this with your smartphone in your hand, gripping your smartphone in all of the different corners of your device, really creating a little bit of tension on there and moving with the camera as you are filming, okay? And that's going to give you a beautiful smooth shot. And of course, we don't always want to be using a tripod because sometimes we want that authentic run and gun footage. And then finally, for external equipment, we've got lighting. So lighting being, of course, if you don't have natural light that you can use, which I would always recommend, I always say bum to the sun. So if you're filming someone, make sure the sun is behind you going on your subject. But if you don't have, the ability to shoot with natural light next to a big window or something, then you can use these man-made lights. So you can attach them directly onto the top of your tripod, or you can get them to attach to your smartphone. This one on the left-hand side, that's a cube light, and this is a Manfrotto light you can see on the right-hand side. They're just there to give you that extra ability to shoot better video in the dark. So all of these limitations of a smartphone that we usually think of, actually that's been taken away by this external equipment. Now, when it comes to editing with a smartphone, we've all got videos on our smartphone, and I'm pretty sure that 100% of you would have taken a video with your smartphone at some point, whether that is, of your dinner tonight, of your holiday last week, or whether it's testimonial videos, in your company, or whether you've already started filming some content for the videos that you're producing. Editing with a smartphone is a little bit different because you need to know how to actually put the content together. So a multi-track editing app, guys, is essentially an app that enables you to put multiple pieces of video together into one beautiful video that you can export. Okay, this is not a montage app where you just pick your favorite bits like TikTok or one of these kind of fun apps. A multi-track editing app, I really recommend you guys go and invest in one. Again, a lot of them are free. KineMaster's free, PowerDirector's free. I'm going to share my screen again and hopefully this will work. But yeah, essentially you definitely need to get one of these in order to edit video together. So you guys can see this on screen, guys. Alina, you can see? Yes. So there's KineMaster on the top left. There's iMovie, that's only available for iPhones. PowerDirector at the bottom is on Android and iOS. And LumaFusion at the bottom right is at the moment only available on iPhones, but it is moving to Android, and that's in beta mode at the moment. LumaFusion is the most advanced at the moment, but of course, we need to start building our skills up as editors. So if you are available to download any of these apps today, I would recommend going and doing that. KineMaster and PowerDirector are my favorite apps to get started with. So both of those two are very, very intuitive, but it just takes a little bit of time to practice putting your shots together. I'm just going to play you this short video about working inside an editing timeline in case some of you haven't seen them before, because if you haven't edited video, it can just take a little bit of time just to get a bit of practice, but you're essentially piecing your best shots together in order to form your finished project.
Although timelines for different app editors might have a different look or feel to them, they work in the same way for the most part. When we edit clips, they sit on the timeline and we arrange them horizontally in the order we would like them to play throughout our video. It's called a timeline because it starts at 0 seconds with the time increasing to the right. If we played our video, clips on the left would play before clips on the right. All editors have a playhead, this vertical line. The playhead depicts where in the video you're previewing and helps you edit your video to find exact frames within a shot. We can add media clips, cut them up, change the order and manipulate them so our overall video looks, sounds and feels the way we want it. When I talk about tracks in the next module, I refer to the horizontal lines that clips sit on, which allow you to layer bits of media on top of each other. For example, maybe you want to add your logo, some text or another video and have it all on screen at the same time. Some editors ask you to layer media on top of the main track, and others, like PowerDirector, ask you to layer it below.
So essentially, when we're working with video, we need a shooting app. So that could be our native camera, or it could be Filmic Pro, depending on whether you feel like a bit more beginner level or a bit more advanced. And then we need an editing app, okay? Now, editing apps would be PowerDirector, KineMaster or iMovie, or LumaFusion if you want to go that way. Now, of course, all of the videos that we create have some kind of format. So I put here run and gun approach versus this beautiful crafted studio setup. Now, neither of these is better than the other. Essentially, a lot of it comes down to the format of how we actually want to produce video, how we want that to come across to our audience. So here I've put some positives about both of these two options that you can kind of pick which is going to suit you best. However, all of this type of video can be produced with a smartphone, and hopefully you guys have put some questions in the comments here that we can get to in a second about the types of videos that you want to produce and how we would actually do these with a smartphone. So really, really exciting that we are running this course today because we want to see the type of content that you guys go on to produce. We do actually have a course at the Advanced Media Institute about shooting with a smartphone. It's called Video for Content Creators, and it's going to talk you through, it's over the course of a month, and it's going to talk you through how to shoot, how to edit with all of these apps, and most importantly, how to actually tell stories. So how to shoot pieces to cameras, interviews, and how to do 5-shot sequences and create that beautiful narrative. So here's a little bit of a video about that course.
During our time together, we're going to get hands-on with shooting and editing, the two skill sets that you need to master to create beautiful video. By the end of the course, you'll feel confident in using your smartphone in a range of scenarios, ready to bring your ideas and stories to life. This small but powerful device truly is a production studio in your pocket with extraordinary potential, and it's up to you to unlock it. Stick with me, Caroline Scott, to learn the production skills to create eye-catching videos that resonate with your audience, whether they're watching TV, streaming video online, or browsing on their favourite social media platform. We're talking interviews, pieces to camera, video features, and more. This is a hands-on course with tasks and challenges for people who really want to learn the art of video production as well as the power of their smartphone. Imagine being able to shoot and edit a whole host of beautiful video content by yourself. Exciting, right? So, whether you want to promote your business or services, start a new YouTube channel on your favourite hot topic, or even produce captivating storytelling for social media channels, I'll show you how, and I'll even throw in some of my secret tips and tricks to help you stand out from the crowd. You're in good hands, as I'm a video journalist and trainer by trade who has taught TV producers, journalists, marketing teams and business owners all over the world to produce video content with their smartphones, and I am thrilled to do the same for you. This equipment is faster, cheaper, lighter and more flexible than traditional high-cost bulky equipment, and therefore extremely accessible to us all. So, what are you waiting for? These videos won't make themselves.